$500 billion. A fortune so vast it equals the GDP of nations like Ireland or Thailand. Imagine one person holding the wealth of a country. The question is no longer if, but when. And who will be the first to reach it? It's a number so vast, so staggeringly large, that it almost loses its meaning. It is a figure that challenges our very perception of wealth and power. To put it in perspective, this is a sum greater than the entire annual economic output of countries like Finland, New Zealand, or Portugal. Imagine one person holding more financial might than the combined efforts of millions of citizens, their industries, and their governments. This isn't just a fortune. It's an economic force of nature, capable of steering markets and influencing the destinies of nations. It represents a concentration of capital that has never before been seen in the hands of a single individual in all of human history. This is not simply about owning mansions or a fleet of private jets. We are talking about the kind of capital that can single-handedly fund the entire annual budget of an agency like NASA, not once, but nearly 20 times over. The first major psychological barrier was broken back in 1999, during the peak of the dot-com boom. It was then that Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates saw his fortune briefly surpass $100 billion. At the time, the figure was astonishing. For nearly 2 decades, that $100 billion mark remained the high watermark. The dot-com bust, the 2008 financial crisis, and philanthropic pledges kept the world's wealthiest individuals below this threshold. But then came another revolution: e-commerce. In 2017, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos officially surpassed Gates, and his wealth continued to climb at a dizzying pace. By 2020, as the world locked down and online shopping became an essential service, Bezos did the unthinkable. He became the first person in modern history to amass a fortune of $200 billion. He had not just surpassed the old record, he had doubled it. Just when the world was growing accustomed to the idea of a $200 billion fortune, another titan emerged, moving at a speed that left everyone breathless. Elon Musk, the visionary and volatile leader of Tesla and SpaceX, saw his net worth explode. Fueled by a meteoric rise in Tesla's stock price, Musk's wealth soared. In late 2021, he rocketed past Bezos and kept climbing, at one point touching a staggering peak of nearly $400 billion. This wasn't just another milestone, it was a quantum leap. Right now, all eyes are on one man, Elon Musk. He is the undisputed frontrunner in this race, a figure whose ambition seems to know no bounds. Musk's fortune is primarily tied to his significant stakes in Tesla, the electric vehicle giant that has completely disrupted the automotive industry, and SpaceX, the private aerospace manufacturer that is revolutionizing access to space. These are not legacy companies. They are ventures aimed at reshaping the very foundations of transportation, energy, and human exploration. Tesla remains the primary engine of his wealth. The company's valuation is not just about the cars it sells today, but about its perceived dominance in a future of electric vehicles, autonomous driving, and battery technology. Any major breakthrough in their full self-driving technology, or the launch of a new mass-market vehicle, could send the stock soaring, adding tens of billions to his net worth in a single day. Then, there is SpaceX. Once a daring startup laughed at by industry veterans, it is now the world's leading private launch provider, ferrying satellites, astronauts, and supplies into orbit with remarkable efficiency. But its true valuation lies in its future projects. The Starlink satellite internet constellation aims to provide high-speed internet to every corner of the globe, a potentially trillion-dollar market. And then there is Starship, the colossal, fully reusable rocket designed to take humanity to Mars. If Starship succeeds, it will give Musk control over the infrastructure for an interplanetary economy. While Elon Musk may currently hold the lead, one should never count out the man who defined the last era of wealth creation, Jeff Bezos. The founder of Amazon is a relentless competitor and a master of long-term strategy. His path relies on the continued dominance and expansion of the e-commerce and logistics behemoth, Amazon, and the ever-growing power of Amazon Web Services. AWS is an incredibly high-margin business that generates a disproportionate amount of Amazon's overall profit. As more of the world's data moves to the cloud, AWS is positioned to capture massive growth. Among the contenders is Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Meta. His fortune is linked to the social media empire encompassing Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Zuckerberg's big bet lies in the metaverse. He has staked billions on the belief that we will one day work, play, and socialize in immersive virtual and augmented worlds. If his vision becomes reality, and Meta establishes dominance similar to Apple's in smartphones, the financial upside would be astronomical, potentially catapulting his net worth into a new dimension. Another powerful contender is Larry Ellison, co-founder of Oracle. He has built his fortune by dominating corporate databases and aggressively pushing into cloud infrastructure. Perhaps the most intriguing possibility is that the first person to reach $500 billion is someone not even on today's leaderboard. The next technological wave could create wealth at a pace that dwarfs what we've seen. A founder who develops artificial general intelligence or cracks anti-aging could see their valuation explode in a way that makes today's giants look small. To possess $500 billion is to wield a form of power that transcends the personal and enters the geopolitical. This is not just wealth, it is a tool of immense influence. An individual with this level of capital could destabilize a smaller country's currency, prop up a failing industry, or fund public works projects on a national scale. NASA's entire annual budget is roughly $27 billion. A half-trillionaire could fund that budget for nearly 2 decades without denting their principal. This concentration of power raises profound questions for society. How do democratic governments interact with an individual who can outspend them on key initiatives? This level of wealth allows for the pursuit of personal ideologies on a global scale. They could eradicate diseases, but also acquire media conglomerates and shape public opinion. Ultimately, this is a race for a new kind of sovereignty, the ability to operate as a nation-state of one with unprecedented and unaccountable power. We are witnessing a unique moment in human history, a financial space race to a peak that was unimaginable just a generation ago. The $500 billion mark is no longer a distant fantasy. The contenders are lined up, each with their own engine of wealth creation. Elon Musk leveraging the future of energy and space, Jeff Bezos commanding modern commerce, Mark Zuckerberg betting on virtual reality. The final ascent will be dramatic, driven by stock market volatility, technological breakthroughs, and sheer ambition. A successful Starship launch, surge in cloud demand, or metaverse adoption could be the decisive factor. But the most important question is not just who will plant their flag on this financial summit first. The real question is what happens the day after. What will this individual choose to do with $250 billion in liquid influence? Will they solve humanity's problems or build a personal empire? The power to do either will be in their hands. The person who wins this race will not just make history, they will gain the power to shape it. Who will it be? And when they reach that summit, what will they do? The answer will define an era. Who do you believe will reach $500 billion first? Comment your guess below, and don't forget to like and share if you want to see the story of the world's first trillionaire. Subscribe for more stories about the future of wealth and power.